Now, let's explain something slightly alternative to you. If you happen to be retired and living in the south of France, how would you feel about selling your house while you're in it? You receive money for it, even if it's at a discount to market prices, but you're able to stay there until you die. Would that work for you? And if you're an investor, would a fund like this appeal to you? What are the pros, what are the cons? Russell Harless, he's the founding partner and CEO of One-to-One Capital, and he joins us. Hi, Russell.
Thank you, Louisa, for having me on your show.
Yeah,
nice to be here.
Well, lovely to have you here. Explain to me what exactly this fund is and how it works.
Well, the fund is a Luxembourg-based fund, and it's directed at qualified investors and institutional investors. The fund, basically, the principle is that older people, 75 to 81 years old, that are living today are having difficulty with their current pension plans, private pension plans, maintaining the quality of life. And a lot of these people, principal asset is their home. And through the sale of a fund, through the sale of their asset through the Viager Life Fund, they're able to generate equity and therefore enjoy a better quality of life, stay in their home, and generally we're providing them a lifestyle which is more acceptable for them.
So you would go in and you would say, we're interested in X, Y, and Z properties, I understand, in Paris and Côte d'Azur, is that right? In south of France?
Yeah, the Viager concept is well regulated and known in France, so the fund initially will focus on the Côte d'Azur and the Paris region.
Yeah.
We have already 6 years experience in running funds for private clients. Currently managing about 50 million euros of assets for high net worth individuals. So we know statistics work. The issue is that we need to acquire more homes for the mortality tables to become relevant.
I spoke to some people here because I know that there are some private equity funds that have tried the same here in the UK, and the press has been atrocious, to say the least, on the back of this. How do you differ from what has been attempted here in the UK, and what type of a discount would you be offering? I mean, what percentage discount would you be offering? I'm assuming you're not offering market prices or above for the people living in their houses.
Well, the concept, once again, is well regulated in France and well established, so this is nothing new. We're meeting a market need. People are coming to us and they're saying, hey, what can you do to help us maintain our quality of life?
Yeah.
And because it's regulated in France, whereas it's not the case in the UK, there's very specific rules and regulations that we need to follow. So we have an onshore team of 10 people, 5 based in the south of France and 5 based in Paris, who are constantly contacted not only by seniors but also by the heirs, interestingly enough, who are wanting to provide for their parents, because somebody who has a parent who's 75 to 85 years old is probably approaching retirement themselves.
Yeah.
And providing their parents with a solution which allows them to stay in their home, because these people have done the right thing.
Yeah.
They do own their home.
But is it typically a big discount? I mean, that's
well, the market is well established, so typically it's a 30% discount to the empty rate of the apartment, and then the bouquet or the capital sum that we pay when we acquire the property, which is done in front of a notary public. So there's an official deed which is held by the Crédit Rentier, which is ourselves, is a well-established process.
How does something like this sound to you, Kit? I mean, if you're looking at pensioners who maybe suffered in the financial crisis and they need income, even if it's at a 30% discount to what their home is really worth, I mean, it could end up benefiting both parties.
Well, it's the retail equivalent of sale and leaseback, for want of a description, in the corporate sector, which is a well-established market. You know, I think it's a question of it being well regulated, because it's obviously the danger is people taking advantage of vulnerable people, and so it needs to have really strong regulation. But the questions that spring to my mind are things like, you know, is this going to evolve into something where you're not buying a property off someone, you're buying a share in a property? So I sell you half of the equity in my apartment, I own half and I live there because I don't need that much money and I'd like to leave half to my heirs, for example. That, you know, so it's a market which has potential in all these countries where you know, where too much wealth is tied up in a single asset, to be healthy.
Can you do that? Can you sell half?
No, currently we can't. That's not something we would do. Interestingly enough, coming from a background with some larger institutions, this is not something that's synthetic at all. The manager themselves are going to take 50% of the invested assets and invest it in bricks and mortar. The other 50% is held with our partner bank, ABN AMRO, in Luxembourg in the form of cash to pay out the annuities. So we have already thought through that process, but we will be the end owner of the property 100%. The day that the Crédit Rentier sells the property, they remain in the property, but we become the owners when the event takes place.
Russell, thank you very much for coming in and visiting with us. Russell Harless, founding partner and CEO of One-to-One Capital.
Thank you very much.